Welcome to the WDLB podcast. I am Will, a huge Yankee fan.
I'm Lucas. I'm a huge Mets fan. If you like what you see in this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell for notifications whenever we upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. How are we feeling about this week?
I have very mixed feelings about this past week. And just FYI to everyone out there listening, this is a midweek episode. We normally do this on Sundays and to release on Mondays, but due to scheduling conflicts, and we had to do it midweeks. In my mind right now, I am dealing with the loss of last night's game against the Guardians.
I'm also dealing with a loss, and a quite embarrassing one, too. So, especially toward the end. We're both not feeling great.
Yeah,
but we're here. We're here. The season's not over.
Can you have a more frustrating game than last night? Oh, actually, you can, because there have been many frustrating games this past week.
Well, I think as the Mets wrap up their homestand, the game is on right now versus Baltimore. This has probably been the most polarizing homestand. I think they are exactly 500 in this homestand right now, which is just insane. And every win has been like a very convincing, very like really, really good win. And every loss has been like, oh, you should have won that. So it's either a convincing win or heartbreaking loss. There's no in between.
I kind of feel the same. Well, to a degree, it seems like we have the game, and then you bring in my favorite closer, Clay Holmes, and then the game ends and we lose.
Clay Holmes did pitch a clean inning yesterday.
He did, but the minute he came into the game, I could guarantee you, everybody in New York watching that game was probably like, "Here we go!" And what happened? I'm watching the game. He got the 2 outs, and I'm yelling, "Watch this next guy get on base! Watch, he's gonna get." Oh, what happened? He walks him, right? All right, now this guy's gonna get a hit. Like it's happening all over again. But he got out of the inning. I'll give him that. But man, you got to do something about he's blown 10 saves this year. And I'm not saying it's all his fault. You know, there's defensive lapses and everything, but
I think
But like if they would have won 7 out of those 10 games, right? They'd be in first place right now with a nice cushion.
I believe that one of those saves is not one of those blown saves shouldn't be. You know, the one where Volpe made an error against the Orioles.
Well, of course, yeah, exactly.
That shouldn't be a blown save because it's not his fault.
No, but I mean that's just the way it works, right? Like you come in, you give up the lead.
That's your fault.
It's your fault, right? Because the thing is, right? Volpe makes an error. All right, buckle down there and get the next guy out. Like you're a baseball player, you're a closer. You're supposed to have that killer mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he does. I'm not saying that he's okay. I'll put it this way: some people are just built for the role. Right? They're built to be closer.
Yeah.
You can't keep living off of half a season in 2022. You can't.
He was unhittable, yeah.
Yeah,
he wasn't that bad last year either.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, I'm not saying he's a terrible pitcher.
I don't think he's built for being a closer.
I just don't think he's a closer. Exactly what you said. He's not a closer. They need someone who can come in and just lock the game down. Do they have that person in the bullpen?
Not really.
I mean, Tommy Kahnle.
Tommy Kahnle's good, but I don't think, again, like Holmes, I don't think Tommy Kahnle's built for being a closer. Doesn't have that overpowering stuff. I think he pitches to contact.
He gets strikeouts. Like last night, he was striking people out.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell, at this point, man, I mean, Brett Tompkin, who gives a crap?
Just Michael Tompkin.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep calling him Brett. Michael Tompkin. Yeah, I mean,
he's been great other than yesterday, and I think yesterday he was put into a fire and had no way of getting out of it.
And he also had a couple of bad calls that were clearly strikes, and the ump called the ball.
Yeah.
He should have been out of that inning a lot. He should have been out of that inning way sooner than he was. So, whatever, though. It's baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a great highlight to the game yesterday, I will say. And you're going to laugh at me, but John Sterling showed up and actually called a couple of innings. And he actually did something that made me completely, totally laugh.
Oh, didn't he tell Volpe, not a good hitter?
I don't know. I don't remember if he said that. Well, he might have said it in context of right now. Yeah, I mean, he probably said it in context of, he hasn't been good lately, and then he hits a double. But what was cool was because he came in the 4th inning, and he said, and he was recapping a couple, the earlier innings, and he goes, yeah, Judge and Soto both hit solo home runs in the 1st inning, and then he goes, belly to belly. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Wow. John Sterling.
Yo, but it was great because like he did that. He said it. He said, yeah, they hit back-to-back home runs, and then he just kind of giggled, belly to belly. It was great. It was classic. It was just like,
he knows what he was doing.
yeah, it was just great. That was a great moment for me to hear, and it just sucked because it brought back a lot of cool memories listening to him. Over the years growing up. I mean, I grew up listening to John Stone. That's all I know.
I'm so thankful to have. As there is a home run from Lindor, so that's good to hear. That's good to see.
Lindor
with the Oppo Taco.
Hey.
He's gonna have another 30-30 season.
That's good, but are the Mets gonna make the playoffs?
Lindor. Well, here's my issue. Did you know the stat came out yesterday? Lindor has a higher WAR than Shohei Ohtani, but wasn't an All-Star. Right now, Lindor has a 5.7 WAR. Ohtani has a 5.6.
Yeah, but Lindor can't pitch.
No, but I think it's purely because Lindor fields and hits. But still, Lindor's WAR is higher than Ohtani. It's the highest in the league right now, and he's not an All-Star.
Yeah, but isn't variable? It goes up and down as you get high.
Yeah, but WAR is very important. That's wins above replacement.
I get it, but again, it's variable, right? Like if you're hot, your WAR goes up. If you suck, your WAR goes down, right?
No, but it's a very important stat to look at because you can tell that separates the I'm a quadruple A player from I'm a legitimate major league player.
Now, here's a question for you: is Lindor an MVP candidate?
For sure, he's not gonna win the MVP, but I would expect him to get votes.
Are you saying that as a Met fan, or are you saying that as a baseball
I'm saying that as a baseball fan. I don't think he'll get first place votes, but I think he'd get up there. He might be a candidate.
But you would be ecstatic if he did win the MVP.
I would be very happy, but I don't expect it to happen. I would love for him to get votes.
Who do you think is the MVP of the National League?
See, I want to say Shohei Ohtani. But yeah, do you think the vote I don't want to say Shohei Ohtani. No. Because I personally think the media has ruined my perception of Shohei Ohtani. Because all they do is post about him. They posted him escaping a pickoff. Because they were like, oh my god, he can do anything. We're like, dude, he almost got picked off and you're posting that?
He is the premier player of baseball.
I know,
He's a unicorn.
It's starting to get annoying, is what I'm saying.
So you're gonna but it's never gonna go away as long as he plays in the MLB. It's just gonna continue to get worse, and as long as he continues to have the type of seasons that he's having, and it's only gonna get worse because he's gonna come back and pitch next year. So
they're gonna post. Next year they're gonna post when he gives up 7 runs, but he strikes out a batter. They're gonna post the strikeout. like they're gonna be, oh my goodness, Cy Young candidate. What a wizardry from.
Hey, he is a wizard, man. Who can pitch and hit and rake the way that he does? Nobody.
I am the show player.
Yeah, your MLB show created player. Yeah. He makes Ohtani. He makes Ohtani cry.
He pitches to a 0 ERA and hits 500 dingers a year. So we should probably get into these games. Let's get into these games and let's talk about some other stuff, the road ahead in general. Do you want to start? Or you want me to start?
Before we get to the games of the week, I just want to say one thing. Last night's Yankee game broke my heart.
Oh, that was definitely a killer. I agree. That was a killer.
It was Boone. As much as I like Boone as a character guy, he got completely outmanaged last night. Like in these type of nitpicky games where you have to make these little these moves and you have to line up this pitcher for these batters, and he just doesn't seem to do well in those situations.
That proves on the other side that Stephen Vogt is a very good manager.
Oh, he is. He
used every big bullpen arm he had. He used Clase for 2
innings.
Which most people wouldn't do, and it worked.
He went to war last night, and he won. Like, he knew, like, that was a game, in his mind, it was, then this is my opinion, and based on what I saw, in his mind, it was war. Indians were winning that game last night. That was it. And it didn't matter what he had to do, they were winning that game at all costs. He was putting his players in the best possible position to be successful. He had everything lined up, right? Boone, on the other hand, didn't seem like he did. After what happened the night before, why are you bringing Clay Holmes in the 9th? Yes, he got out of it, right? But why are you doing that? Bring in somebody else. Bring in Clay Holmes in the 7th. Bring him in the 10th. Don't bring him in that situation. Bring him in if you have a lead, if you actually do get the lead, you know? And on the flip side, the bats, I mean, it's just Verdugo. Speaking of war, His WAR is 0. Why is he even on the team?
LeMahieu's point is 0.5, negative 0.5.
What are they doing?
Dude, that was embarrassing. I'm sorry. I got embarrassed watching that. He struck out on like 3 pitches, and like the last one was like in the dirt.
And not only that,
yeah.
But you have Jason Dominguez, who last night was like, "Hold my beer, guys. You just demoted me back to AAA." And he got 4 hits. Why is this guy not playing in the majors? He's better than someone who's not doing anything.
I would rather him come up and suck than have my veterans come up and still do nothing. Because he's at least learning. He's learning.
Exactly. And you never know. Sometimes young guys like that, they're too happy to be there, and they don't feel any pressure. They just show up and hit the ball, and everything's great.
Sometimes they need a year, like what happened with Mark Vientos. He needed, and last year, Mark Vientos, I thought I have never been more wrong on a player than I have been with Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos hit like 220 with like 12 homers. He struck out like twice every game. He just, I was like, dude, this guy is a quadruple A player. He is a bust. He sucks. And this year, he goes out here. He's almost hitting like 290. He might hit 30 homers. He got like 80 RBIs. He turned it around. He learned how to have plate discipline. He's hitting the ball for power. And I gave up on him. And I shouldn't have. Because you need to give these guys time.
You do.
That's what Boone's not doing. Boone needs to bring up. Well, it's not Boone's decision, but they need to bring up Dominguez. Yeah. But they need to bring him up. Dominguez. They do. They need
an infusion of youth. They need to just bring up these guys. You see what you have, and just let them play. It's not like the Orioles are running away with the division.
They're not.
I mean, you do have the Red Sox on your heels, right? Last time I checked, they were 3.5 games out of a wild card spot. That's scary. That could potentially be a scary. I mean, what the crazy part is, the Red Sox make the playoffs, and then you got to face them in a 3-game series because you're the wild card team because you didn't win the division. That scares me.
The Red
Sox have only Yankees this year.
The Red Sox offense is incredible. The Red Sox starting pitching is terrible.
Not according to the Yankees and Red Sox matchups. According to those matchups, the Red Sox own the Yankees. So,
well,
I would be terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified to play them in the playoffs. I mean, Absolutely. When you think about it, I'd be terrified to play. I mean, a 3-game series, 5-game series, those are just
I would be terrified to play the White Sox in a 3-game postseason series because it can go anyway.
They are the White Sox, though, and they're going to lose.
But it can. Well, the White Sox beat the Yankees.
They did. That was just.
Yeah.
The Yankees were lucky to. When you look at it, at the end of the day, I felt like they were lucky to walk away with winning that series.
They even left Eniel De Los Santos in Chicago. How nice of them.
They were like, bro, just don't even get on the plane. We're done.
You can stay here.
We're good, bro.
You can stay here. And he's like, yo, can I take a jersey? Yeah, but we don't care.
You're like, no, you don't even get a jersey. Take it. Goodbye. Have a nice day. That was, man, I don't know.
Great trade.
Yeah, great trade, right? Trade. Yeah.
DFA'd just like a month after he got traded.
It just doesn't make any sense to me, really. Some of these moves that they make, or lack of moves, bring up the young guys. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
The fans will be excited. Like it just doesn't. It's just frustrating because it's so formulaic at this point. You know exactly what's gonna happen. It's like reading a book. It's like reading the same book every day with this team at this point. And by no means am I saying that like that they're. I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just so. It's like a monkey could go up there and do the same exact thing every single night for the same result. Why not take a chance and do something else, right? Mm-hmm. Bring up these young guys. Go, when you talk to the press, say, hey, you know what? Clay Holmes hasn't been great in the role. Here's what we're going to do. We're not saying he's not going to ever close again, but what we're saying is we're going to look at it on a game-by-game basis, and if it works out and he's on rest, and he's the next guy up, he's coming into the game. Otherwise, we're going to figure something out. And it's not like they don't have other guys that can get outs. They do. It's just that they have this blind loyalty to these players, which is cool, but it's frustrating because right now, every game counts. Every game counts. And with the exception of the White Sox game, The Yankees were pretty much in every single game, and they could have been wins, but they lost it. They lost those games because of the bullpen, right?
That's how I feel about the Mets. That's what happened pretty much every game that I was in. All of the L's were because of the pitching, not because of the hitting.
You know, well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. It has been because they're not hitting either.
There was one game where they didn't hit, but the hitting looked better because the pitching was bad. If you get what I mean. Like, they scored decent amount of runs in most of their games, but in the games that they won, the pitching held it down and they didn't score a lot, but it's because the pitching held it down that it made it look like, oh, they teed off.
Well, that's what happens if you show up and your pitcher goes 6 innings, 7 innings, right? Mm-hmm. And you score 2 runs, nobody cares. If you show up, you score 2 runs, your pitcher gives up 4, you're not hitting.
You're like, bro, what are we doing?
That's what it is. It's at the end of the day, a win's a win, a loss. It's all about wins and losses. But they're not hitting. It's just frustrating. Mm-hmm. It's very, very frustrating. And when you see, like, it's frustrating. But saving grace is no one is running away with it. No one is, right? So it's just one of those situations where you just got to be patient. And I think that they know that. They're like, look, the Orioles aren't going to run away with this division. We're right there, you know. So let's just do our thing, keep our guys fresh, keep everybody happy, and we'll get there. They're happy just getting into the playoffs, right? But we want to make it to the playoffs. We want to win the division, and then we want to annihilate everybody, like take no prisoners. But they're not thinking that way. They're thinking like, no, once we get into the playoffs, it's a crapshoot anyway. So, and we'll take our chances with our squad.
Yeah.
That's probably how they're looking at it. And I get it. But in athletics, in sports, you always play the best players. And right now, they're not playing the best players. They're not. They're clearly not playing the best players. You have guys who are producing in the minor leagues right now who can come up, and even if they don't perform up to the same caliber as how they're playing in the minor leagues, it's still probably going to be better than what you're getting right now. I mean,
better about trying a team full of rookies out there that don't perform than a team full of veterans that don't perform? Because at least, again, back to the point, I at least know that the rookies are learning and getting better, whereas the veterans have.
Yeah, but you can't do that in New York, so.
Yeah, whereas the veterans have nothing left in the tank, and they're kind of like LeMahieu should retire at this point,
unless he's injured. But if he's injured and he's playing through it, why isn't he on the DL? Why? Like, if he's injured and playing through an injury, then why is he?
That's how I feel right now. I'm worried Brandon Nimmo is playing through an injury because he swung and he was like clenching his elbow, and they took him out of the lineup. They're like, oh, he might be injured. And then yesterday he fumbled a diving catch and was like, well, I didn't dive full capacity because I didn't want to re-injure that elbow. And I'm like, what? We didn't put you on the injured list for this? Well, but because we really, unfortunately, we can't. This is the toughest stretch of the year. Padres, Diamondbacks, both ahead of us in the wild card. 7 games against us. We cannot afford to lose anyone big here.
No. I mean, no team can right now.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Every time I see LeMahieu come up and like a strikeout, I'm like, maybe he should just go play some hockey. He's got the name for it. All right, let's do games of the week.
All right.
Or as we say, games of the midweek, because we're midweek right now.
Oh, yeah, we got a full week of games for you. You want to go first? Just go through them so I can.
No, you go first. Do your thing, brother.
This is. I got a lot to talk about this week. Very strong feelings on the Mets. So Tuesday, I went to that game. Last episode, we came up with that one. I said I will be at that game. Hope it goes well. It went about as terrible as it could have gone. Paul Blackburn, first start against his former team at home. He stunk up the joint. He was just. See, you have. It feels like every time a pitcher faces his former team, he has that added pressure that, like, I need to do well against this team. And it seems like no matter what he did, he would either get behind in the count or they would hit whatever he threw. He went like 4 innings, gave up 7 runs, and just didn't pitch well. The offense tried to fight back, but they were in too much of a hole. They lost 9-4. It's not great when you lose to the A's. It's not great. It's really not.
A's. And they were mocking you guys too.
But if I'm gonna, that guy, and he got karma because now he's on the because he got hurt. So that's your fault. Wednesday, great snapback when Lindor homered, he did the celebration right at their bullpen. It was so great. David Peterson once again. David Peterson's rise to being a decent pitcher, it really needs to be studied. David Peterson's ERA is exactly 3 with a 7-1 record this year.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And David Peterson has always been our 5th starter. So
and his WAR is higher than Verdugo's.
Wow.
Dude,
I don't know if that's impressive.
My WAR and your WAR are both higher than Verdugo.
Wait, let's see what Verdugo's WAR is.
It's 0.
Is it actually 0?
I think it's 0.
It's 0.3.
It's 0.
If it was 0, we would have the exact same WAR as Alex Verdugo. Do you think we have more WAR than PJ LeMahieu? Me and you combined more WAR.
I mean, I know this is 0. To my mind, it's 0. I don't care. It's 0. That's
wow.
0. There's no WAR. 0. It's either a 1 or it's a 0. 0, 0. Give
Pretty
me
much.
this.
That's
Give me
one
this
that won
fraction of a
9-1.
number.
That was a convincing win. I thought they were going to turn around. And I am going to go on a rant now. Mets had a 5-0 lead in Game 3 against the A's. 5-0 lead. Jose Quintana blows that lead. Jose Quintana should not be pitching for the Mets anymore. He should be DFA. Season over. DFA. He cannot get batters out. Jose Quintana might be the most boring pitcher I think I've ever watched. Because he stands there, he goes, and then he takes like 50 years to throw the ball. He doesn't throw hard. He doesn't have any swing and miss stuff. He's not a good pitcher anymore. He was good 10 years ago, but not anymore. He shouldn't be on the Major League roster. You get a 5-0 lead, then you give up a grand slam. Then you give up another. He shouldn't be pitching for this team anymore. If we're going into the playoffs and Jose Quintana is my Game 2 starter, I'm not gonna be happy.
Yeah, but who else do you have?
Sean Manaea should be our Game 1 starter. That's what I'm saying. Sean Manaea should be our Game 1 starter. Luis Severino should be our Game 2 starter.
Oh, okay.
He's pitched in the playoffs before.
Yeah, no.
Both of those pitchers I mentioned have pitched in the playoffs before.
Okay.
The last time Jose Quintana pitched in the playoffs, I think, was like 2018, and it was a wild card game for like the Cubs, and he didn't do good.
Yes, I hear you, but in a playoff series, and I'm not trying to be like a typical Yankee fan, but those two pitchers do not scare me in a playoff series.
Oh, I don't think we have a pitcher that scares them. That's the thing. We don't have a scary pitcher. We just have to throw our best and hope the other guys can go in the bullpen. Peterson should be in the bullpen because he will be a weapon out of the bullpen in the playoffs. If we make it, he should go straight to the bullpen. We don't have we have one lefty in the bullpen.
But you need 3 starters, right? You need 3 starters. Need 3 solid starters.
That's the issue. That's the issue we have. And I don't want to have 2 lefties. I would rather have 2 righties, 1 lefty.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when.
Well, if it happens, then yes, that's we'll see how that goes. They lost that one 7-6. That one really frustrated me. It really did because Jose Quintana threw the game away. The Mets didn't even hit bad. They scored 6 runs. He threw the game away. If he pitched even decent, quality start, they win the game. But they don't. Friday against the Marlins, good bounce back. Sean and I pitched pretty decent. McNeil went yard. Nimmo went yard. He really needed that. He's been in a massive slump. Massive slump. So they won. And he pimped the home run. I've never seen him pimp a home run. He watched it. He normally hits it and he just runs. He runs. Because that's all he does. He's a runner, man. But they won it 7-3. That was convincing. Saturday, I went to that game. And for the first time in 3 years, April 23rd, 2021, Jacob deGrom was the last time this happened. Luis Severino throws a complete game shutout.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, wow.
Sevy for the shutout.
It was amazing. The energy. Now, this proves to me that the crowd, Mendoza needs to learn of this. The crowd totally swayed him here. Because he comes, all right, after the 8th inning, Severino leaves, tips the cap, and we're like, all right, he's done. He had maybe 95 pitches. We're like, he can't go for the rest of the inning. Then, in the top of the 9th, he comes back out. And we're like, wait, I thought he was done. Because he was done. Then, first pitch of the 9th inning, he hits the batter. We're like, wow.
That's that.
He came in just to hit the dude. That's that. And Mendoza comes out, and the shower of boos come out. And they asked him after, and Mendoza, as he's walking, said, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't take him out. And he comes in, and Severino, you hear him just yell, "Keep me in. I'm finishing this." And then he goes,
Yeah,
strikeout,
the Mets
pop
don't
out,
have a good.
strikeout.
Well, here's the problem with that: the Mets don't have a great track record with leaving pitchers in the game to finish games.
Exactly, but you know what? I give him credit. He got it done. He
did.
9 innings, 8 strikeouts.
He did,
4 hits.
But is this gonna mess him up for the rest of the season?
That's what worries me. That's what worries me. But I hope he can do it. He had a 3-pitch and a 4-pitch inning, both in the same game.
All I have to say is Johan Santana.
To be fair, Johan Santana was pretty much done. Johan Santana was done at that point.
Yes, but he was never the same after that.
He was never the same after that. But to be fair, Severino threw a complete game with the Yankees in 2018 and was fine until he started being bad.
And also,
but that was him being bad on his own.
Yes, and also Sevy, watching him over the years, he gets into the 120s, so he can throw 120 no problem.
Yeah, I think he finished with like 110, 115.
Yeah, that's Sevy. Like watching his pitch count is always like I remember seeing it in the 120s a few times, and I was like, damn, this guy, he can go all day.
He's the only guy that can pitch in our City Connects. We did that in the City Connects. That's the only guy that can pitch in our City Connects. Everyone else sucked. Sunday bullpen was awful. Paul Blackburn pitched pretty decent again. That proves to me that the one against the A's was not great. I'm gonna be real, he's a pretty boring pitcher to watch, but he gets it done. Like I might fall asleep watching him, but I'm not gonna be super frustrated. He went 6 innings, 1 run. That's pretty decent.
It's like watching back in the day Steve Traxel.
Oh no!
Slowest pitcher.
No, but Steve Traxel wronged me. Well, Steve Traxel wronged every Mets fan.
Well, I think that they invented the pitch clock because of him. There was a story about him where I remember hearing this, I think, on the Michael Kay show years ago, where he was saying that he takes so long between pitches, and his games are so long that you see the beat reporters who are covering the game, they're giving him the middle finger from the press box, like, hurry up, pitch the ball. Like, they're pissed off because they're like, we're going to be here forever. Like, throw the damn ball. It's pretty funny. There's a bunch of stories like that, how he was just so slow and deliberate. Yeah, he would take a minute between pitches. It's crazy. He's like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not okay. No, not ready. Nope.
Dude, yeah, we were talking about Steve Traxel yesterday at the game.
Oh.
My dad was saying how much he hates Steve Traxel, which is fair. He's just awful. Terrible. Yeah, bullpen sold that game. They didn't score, though, so I can't. Brazoban blew the game. Garrett blew the game. Maton blew the game. It was just no offense as well. It wouldn't have happened if the offense did nothing. They scored 2 runs. So, against the Marlins. So, great. It's fine, though. So, because we had to keep going. Monday, that was what I thought was going to be the turnaround. This in reality is going to decide it. They're winning 1-0 in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it's 1-0 in the middle of the 5th.
This is a very, very important game. But on Monday, I'm going to go in depth with this one, because this one, this might have been, I'm going to be real with you, the Mets have not played a lot of close games this year. It's either been, all right, I don't care, they're going to win this game, or they've been crushed, it's over. Like, they're not coming back from this. This game, they were leading 2-0, then they were leading 3-0, but then the Orioles tied the game because the Orioles are a good team. Good team. I got to give it to him. Peterson, first time he's ever completed 7 innings in his career, which is funny. But he gave up the lead because of it. Because he gave up 3 runs in that inning. Unfortunately, it's not in that inning. He gave up 2, but I'm still going to credit Peterson for finishing 7 for his first time, because he doesn't work very fast. That's the thing. He's been good, but he doesn't work very fast. He gives up a lot of traffic. Like, he walks a lot of batters. He'll give up hits, but he always seems to get out of it.
He wiggles out of it.
He got out of it. Bucho pitched the 7th. Diaz pitched the 9th. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, tied 3-3, 3-0 count with 1 out. They have Sir Anthony Dominguez in here. They don't have Craig Kimbrell. Francisco Alvarez with the walk-off home run, swinging 3-0. Just, if you're going to swing 3-0, you better make it count.
Oh, yeah, no, if you swing 3-0, you better hit a home run.
He crushed it. Pimp
It must have
job.
been.
What a pimp job.
It must have looked like a beach ball. It must have
And
been
and in
like,
and in
I
and,
got it.
and in the Twitter, you see all the Yankees fans, Orioles. What happened? We're like, bro, you weren't even in this game, man.
It's bittersweet, right? When your division rival plays the Mets,
Mm-hmm.
because you want your rival to lose, but then you don't care about the Mets. You're like, whatever. So
Well,
it is what it is. But yeah, we need the Mets to take care of business today
that game
because
felt very that game was that game felt very good, especially to do it against their closer and not someone random, because they bring in Dominguez, who's now their, because Kimbrel has been so bad that he's not even their closer anymore. It's super funny. So
it's
they have
funny.
him come in, gets the first batter, gets the 3-0 count. Alvarez just swings away, and there we go. And then on Tuesday, went yesterday. I don't know what you expect. Jose Quintana pitched. That's all I have to say.
Jose
He gave
Quintana.
he gave up 7 runs in 5 innings, including an absolute missile to James McCann, which is hilarious. We all
Well,
laugh.
you know what they say about McCann. McCann can.
McCann.
What's that joke? Whether they call it a garbage can, they call it a garbage can, not a garbage can.
Oh my god, dad jokes at the finest. Here we are.
Oh, here we are.
But the
Yeah, I'm
Mets,
always good
I
for
will
one.
again. I'm gonna give credit again. The Mets were trying to fight back. They were losing 7-1, and they made it 7-5. And then in the top of the 9th inning, they had the most comical thing ever. Like little looper to Brandon Nimmo that's gotten first and second. Little looper, he dives, misses the ball, throws home, throws away, run scores. They throw down the third, throws away, another run scores. Like, yeah, they lost 9. But that was a very Mets play. I can't lie. That was very, very Mets play. And I can't deny it.
Some organizations just can never escape their history.
Apparently not.
Or their vibe. It doesn't matter who owns the team.
Ooh, Peter just got. Oh, right in the elbow.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Of course it hurts.
like, really, you gotta. Can't escape it. Can't escape it. But my thing for the Mets today, my final thoughts: win today. Win today,
Yes.
and I'm going to feel a lot better about this road trip if you don't. Because if you
Yes.
don't win, I don't know. That plane ride down to San Diego is not going to be good. It's just
Please
not.
win today, because
You
the Yankees
really
need you to
win today.
The Yankees need you to win.
The Yankees
Listen
need
to
to
me.
win.
Listen to me. Speaking for more Yankee fans, the Mets. As much as I hate to say this, I can't even say go Mets. All right, yeah, there, I said it.
You can
but
say
I
the
didn't say
Mets
it with
are.
intent.
You didn't actually mean it. You just kind
I
of
didn't mean it.
stated
Yeah,
it.
I can't. I just can't. I can't.
You can
can't
say the Mets are a good team that needs to beat the Orioles.
I can't even say that. Just
Wow.
beat the Orioles, please. Just beat them for us. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We can try, but with this bullpen, 1-0 lead isn't going to cut it.
The Orioles bullpen isn't all that great. So I mean,
yeah, but they've held us.
Which is kind of weird because the Mets have a good lineup.
They've been
like, that's
not so great recently.
It's not a terrible lineup. I mean, the Orioles have a good lineup too.
Have a good lineup too.
You see, that's the thing about baseball this year. It's so weird. It's like there's no one. Every team is.
There's no team
flawed.
that I am genuinely like, we can't beat them.
Exactly. This is probably one of the first years in a long time where we're going into the playoffs, and it's gonna be one of those things where like there is no clear.
But there's
team.
It's also like I feel like there's no team that I feel like we can't beat them. But there's also no team that I feel like this is a free win. Not even the White Sox, because we're the Mets. Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Again, the White Sox are going to lose 100 games. So
for sure, I hope the White Sox don't break the Mets record, because I think that's kind of funny that the Mets have that record. I think but it would be more funny if the White Sox were 1 away in the final game of the year from that record, and if they lost, they would break that record for most losses, and they had to actually try in the last game to not break the record. That would be really funny.
That would be really funny. What would be funnier is if the Mets played the White Sox the last game of the year.
They don't, but that would be really
they
funny.
Had to, and that would decide whether or not they break the record or not. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. We play Padres, Diamondbacks, and then the White Sox. So really, if you do good in both those series, you need to cushion your lead against the White Sox.
Padres are no joke, though. They're
oh my god, the Padres
team.
are an incredible baseball team.
So I wouldn't. That's not going to be. That's not going to be.
Just did like a whole spin. he went. He was trying to go first to third. He stumbled, got on his feet, did like a spin, and then slid into third. It was so funny.
Maybe he's feeling the effects of the hit by pitch.
For sure.
Yeah, first and third. Hey, here you go. You might have another run. One out,
They need
first
to
and
first
third.
and third. No, JD Martinez,
Oh
Orioles
gosh,
killer.
JD Martinez. Oof. JD Martinez.
Well, he's whatever
He's
it's
0 for
called.
2. He's 0 for 2 and he struck
You
out
know,
already.
JD
So
Martinez has 37 home runs against the Orioles in his career. That's the most against any team.
really, so he rakes against them, just like Glaber used to rake against him, and
Well,
suddenly he stopped.
I think that's that dates back to him being on the Red Sox. Basically, it's because
Yeah,
he faced them so much that he would
of
just
course.
clobber any bad pitcher they had, which was pretty normal. But
Yeah,
all right, how did the
they were
Yankees do
terrible
this?
for
How
so
did the
long.
Yankees do this week, just in general?
The Yankees. So let's go back in time. So let's
We're
go
gonna have
back
a
in time to
Twilight
this
Zone
past.
episode.
Yeah, like last week. So what? Well, last week we started with the Tigers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. Took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. That should have been a sweep, but they got annihilated in game 1. So whatever, it is what it is.
Who pitched bad? Was it Hill?
I think it was Hill. Yeah.
But Hill been injured because he was taken out of the game yesterday.
Yeah, with lower back pain.
So has he been playing not 100%? That's my question.
We don't know.
I think you should shut him down for a little while, just to not forever. Maybe put him on the 10-day so he misses a start or two, but then he can come back.
That's probably going to happen.
You put Will Warren in there. Will Warren's gonna have to start a few games.
Oh gosh, yeah. Bring him up. Bring up the rookie. Put him in the game. Let's see what happens. So yeah, we're back. So we're in Chicago. We take 2 out of 3. We should have swept them. Then we go to Detroit, and yeah, Detroit seemed to be like a house of horrors for the Yankees. It just
that's how I feel. I feel like the Mets never win against them.
But that Sunday game, man, against Skubal, like, okay,
Skubal wasn't even 100%. He threw like 100 pitches in 6 innings.
Yeah, but he still. I mean, man,
he's impressive, man.
He's impressive. But when you get him out of the game, right? You have a lead, and you blow the lead,
mm-hmm.
and then you end up losing the game. Like, come on, man! Like, those are the games you can't lose. And the thing is, it's I don't know. To me, it feels like with the Yankees, it's always, that's okay, we'll get them next time. But you're running out of games. You are running out of games.
There might not be a next time soon.
Exactly. Well, no. I mean, this is what happens, right? Right now, the Orioles, the Yankees, the Mets, they all control their destiny, right?
Especially the Mets, because I feel like both the Yankees and Orioles have a postseason spot as long as they don't crumble. The Mets postseason spot is not guaranteed at all. And JD Martinez grounds into a double play. RBC. Yeah. Oh, he dropped the ball! He dropped it!
So now it's a 2-0 lead.
2-0 game. That's gigantic. Who dropped it? Jackson Holiday. Bang.
Yeah, but also the Mets have another advantage too, because they didn't Atlanta just lose Osuna.
Did they? No, they lost Riley.
Riley, that's who it was. Sorry, I confused. Yeah, it was
He's
Riley.
Done for the year.
Riley.
But no, the Braves signed Gio Urshela. Gio Urshela is going to hit 400 with 9 home runs in September.
Gio Urshela, what a fella.
Gio Urshela is going to have a Linsanity run, and the Mets are going to lose because of it. It's over.
We'll see. That remains to be seen. So yeah, back to this. So Sunday, that game for me was like the epitome of everything wrong with the Yankees, as far as them bringing in Clay Holmes and yada 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 blah blah blah.
I think the main root of that is that they didn't hit. They scored like 1 run against the Tigers.
But if Clay Holmes comes in and locks it down, then it doesn't matter. We're not talking about they didn't hit, right? Like we're not talking about that, which is it's just frustrating. And then last night with the Guardians, man. I mean,
Tim Meza shouldn't have been in that game at all.
No, but again, who do they have? Who else do they have?
I think Tim Meza is a good signing because you can fix him. Last year, Tim Meza's ERA I think was like 1.65 in like a full season for the Blue Jays.
Well, if you can fix him,
you need a lefty in that pen.
Great, if you can fix them, and hopefully they can. Hopefully they.
Well, yeah, he went from that to being DFA'd. So really,
they've got one of the best pitching gurus on the planet.
Yeah, I give credit to Matt Blake for fixing.
Everyone goes to Matt Blake.
The fact that he fixed Michael Tonkin says enough. I thought there was no saving him.
And he
actually stunk.
He's pitching magic, man. Like he can take up. I mean, everybody except for Eloy De Los Santos, I guess, right?
Well, Angel De Los Santos was good for like the Guardians one year, but then like he was good. He was good for the Guardians, and then once he got off the Guardians, he was awful.
Do you think that they sat with him and they said, "Hey, do this, do this, do this," and he was just like, "I'm doing what I want." Bye. And so they were like, "This guy ain't gonna listen to us," and they just
Uh,
because think about
maybe
it.
not. Maybe
But
he just
they're
isn't good.
maybe, but like you traded for him, right? Like that's what's puzzling. You traded for him.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up something for him, and so after what two starts, not starts, but two appearances, yeah, he got shelled in every single one. Don't get me wrong, but you don't sit him down and say, "Hey, this is here's the pitches you should focus on. Here's what you should do." Blah 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 blah
They're
blah.
like, now you're gone.
And
Bye.
yeah, I don't know, like, and or maybe they saw something in him in his personality, and they were like, "Get this guy out of here." Because as you can see with how they treat LeMahieu and how they treat Verdugo, they keep him on the team and they just
How are
let him
they
continue
still
to
on the
play.
team? That
So
is what doesn't make sense to me. How are they? Well, no, it's not how. I know why Verdugo's still on the team because Verdugo has a good track record and Verdugo can hit good. But LeMahieu hasn't been good in a while.
yeah, but they owe a lot of money. I think that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
They're
you're
not going to
right.
eat the
You're
money.
right.
They're not going to eat the money. They're just
Going back to the they have a lot of money still makes me wonder how the Nationals have kept Patrick Corbin for so long.
Corbin. Well,
This is
yeah.
last year. It's over for Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin has to retire after this. There's no way anyone signs him.
Oof, Corbin. I
Patrick
mean, he
Corbin hasn't had a season where his ERA was under 5
didn't. I mean, I
since 2019. How is that possible? How are you
didn't.
so bad?
Didn't both New York teams dodge a bullet with that one? Because I think
Oh, for
everybody
sure. I
was in
think
on
they both
Corbin.
tried to trade for him.
Yeah, they both. Well, when he was a free agent,
I
everyone
do
was
not.
on
Well,
the Corbin
I'm
train.
glad we didn't take Patrick Corbin. How'd you
I'm very
overpay
glad
that
too.
hard for a player?
The Nationals, they did. But I mean, they got
Bases
a World
loaded.
Series out of it. They got a World Series out of it,
Yeah,
didn't they?
they
Yeah,
got a
they
World
did.
Series out of it, but now they have to. Now they get like 30 losses a season because of him. Okay, that's not true, but
I mean,
like
yeah, that's a little extreme.
in 20, I think in 2020. Let me look at his. It is incredible how bad he was. Like it's almost laughable. It is laughable how bad he
Do
was.
you think though that part of why he's been bad is because he's playing on a terrible team? Because there's no motivation there.
But I wouldn't say the Nationals are even that terrible anymore. They have a very good future ahead. Like looking
But
at their team, they
but
have a
they're
lot
not
of.
going anywhere right now.
But
And
my problem is he's like their only veteran now. He should have the veteran. He should be setting the example for the rookies that like the dozens of rookies on this team.
yeah, but some guys aren't like that. Some guys aren't. Some guys
Let's
aren't
see.
role models.
2019, 3.25 ERA, really good. After that, 2020, 4.66. 2021, 5.82. 2023, 6 and 19 with a 6.31 ERA. How did he pitch They never took him out of the rotation.
Because because they're paying him and they have no one else. And so they're paying this guy all this money.
2023,
He's going to show up
10
and
and
pitch.
15, 5.20 ERA.
Also,
And this
the
year,
national
2 and 12, 5.92 ERA.
also the Nationals don't have a good track record with starters.
How are you this awful
They have a
and
terrible track
still
record with starters.
making money?
They probably don't take good care of their starters. I don't know, like that's such a broad thing to say, but they don't seem to have a good look at Strasburg. Like look what happened to him. Like they don't seem to have a great track record with their starters. So it could be a combination of things. But
Mm-hmm.
we're not here to dissect the Nationals because who gives a crap about the Nationals? I don't.
Oh.
I only care about my New York Yankees, like my New York Junkies. So
Yankees.
let's wrap this up. Yankees suck for losing last night. I'm mad at them, but they can redeem if they win tonight. Clase, I mean, at least there's a shining thing. Clase pitched 2 innings last night, so we won't see him tonight. So that's great.
Well, that's how I feel about the Mets, but I am really, really. I still don't feel good about this game. They just had bases loaded and 2 out, and Starling Marte struck out on 3 pitches. It's a DJ LeMahieu special, right there. That's a DJ LeMahieu special. You can't be doing that.
I like it. I like that.
And
I like
right
that.
now, the Orioles are in their bullpen, but the bullpen just came in and got out of it. So like, really, are they going to hit the bullpen? And Sean Manaea is a great pitcher right now. He's been the best pitcher right now. But is Sean Manaea gonna finish this game? No, he's not. So the bullpen's gonna come in, and the bullpen scares me because right now they can't use Buto. He pitched on Monday. They've been trying to have him stay in for long relief. They had him go 1 inning on Monday, but in reality he needs to go 2. He always goes 2. Yesterday they used Ottavino and Stanek, which is really good for me. That means I don't have to see Ottavino or Stanek. But that means they have Garrett, who has been really bad. The only guy they have in this bullpen that I somewhat trust is Diaz. And Diaz is only going to pitch the 9th. And you have to get it to the 9th. How are you going to get there? That's my problem.
And that's the thing about the Yankees. I feel like even with Clay Holmes in that bullpen, I feel like they have a better bullpen than most other teams. And I like that in the playoffs. I think that's going to play really well, no pun intended. I think it's going to play really well in a short series. I really hope if we're in a playoff game and it's like a 1-run or 2-run game, and it's going to be because those games usually are, and it's the 9th inning, you don't bring in Clay Holmes. Just please don't do that. That's all I ask.
I feel like in the past years has been a very big issue with the Mets. The last time the Mets had a great bullpen was 2022. That was the season. The Mets bullpen, there was not one guy that came in and I'm like, oh, it's over. Every guy in that Mets bullpen had some upside. They had Edwin Diaz. They had Adam Ottavino. They had even Drew Smith wasn't that bad. They had Joely Rodriguez, who surprisingly was pitching well. They had, I wouldn't say he's that good, but in general, they had every bullpen arm in there. Trevor Williams, any guy who they put out there, I would have some sort of confidence in. Seth Lugo, and I would be like, wow, they got this. Because the Mets bullpen was really good. And then after that year, the Mets bullpen, I can't trust one person in that bullpen. I can't even trust Edwin Diaz. It's gotten that bad.
Yeah, well, tonight we gotta beat the Guardians.
Who do you got? What's pitching looking like today?
Nestor Cortez, Mr. Nasty Nestor. He's pitching tonight. He pitches great at Yankee Stadium, and his last start was actually pretty good. So, and that was on the road, his last start. So, let's see how this pans out. Because if you can win today, tomorrow you got Cole in an afternoon game. So, then you take 2 out of 3. But if it's any, last night,
Well, what's today? Wednesday, Friday should be the next game, right? Yeah. So they go to San Diego. 9:40 game. Severino. He has a little bit of a thing now. Did you see what he said?
No, what did he say?
So they asked Severino about the injuries, which is like, come on now. And he joked, and people thought he wasn't kidding, which is like, come on, dude. Have you met this guy? They were saying, well, Ketel Marte got injured, and Austin Riley got injured. This helps you in the playoff picture. How do you feel? What about San Diego? Nothing on San Diego? Because they were like, because he's pitching against the Mets. He's like, did anyone there get injured? Do I have an advantage here? But and people are like, oh, he's a thug. Why would he say something like that?
He's just joking around.
Like, come on.
Don't be sensitive, people.
He pitches against them in the first game. This series really, they're going to be going against Cease.
Wait a minute. I just saw the perfect game thing pop up for the Met game. So Manaea's doing a perfect game right now?
No, Manaea just hit a battery.
Still
has the no-hitter. Still has the no-hitter.
All right, because I just saw the perfect game little thing. Oh, now it got changed to no-hitter. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? What am I missing here?
He's pitching crazy. He's pitching. He's dealing, but then he just hit Jackson Holiday.
He's got a no-hitter.
Season over. Over.
It's 2-2. It's 2-2.
Oh, my God, bro.
Austin Slater, home run.
Season over. No one has it worse than me.
DFA. Season over. DFA, everybody. And
Bases
on that note,
fail really hurts us. On that
note,
we're going
to conclude. Mr.
If
Lucas,
you like what you see, again, make sure, subscribe, hit the bell for our next upload. We will see you in the next one. We hope you enjoyed this episode. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Thank you. Go Yankees.